morning.
So yeah, I did it.
Yay! High five.
I got it. Hello, Angela. Right.
Yay! Okay. All
Good
right,
morning.
let's
Good
see.
morning.
How
Good
is
morning,
everyone?
Roxanne.
Let me know if the sound is okay. Too loud? Not loud enough? Okay. That one's probably zoomed in here. Image control. Yeah, let's do that. No. Oopsies.
There we go.
This one. There we go.
Oh, I'm saying good morning, and I forgot for some of you it's good afternoon.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hello. We're glad you're here.
Where you're hailing from.
You good?
Yes.
All right.
So glad you're here. The sound is good. Everything's good. Hello, Marcia. Thanks for being here. Iowa. Oh, is it cold there yet? It's been terrible weather here. It's been rainy and gloomy. I feel like I moved to the Pacific Northwest. Picture is dark. Oh, I don't know. It is, isn't it? I wonder what I do about that. It could be because we have such a gloomy day and I don't have a light back here. But yes, it is dark. I can see that. I don't think I have control over that other than putting a light back here, and I don't have one. So I will, good morning. I will, I'll try to bring things closer so that you guys can see what we're doing. But today, this is what we're making. We are making the fabric markers. I have made these. I need to make another set. I probably need like 3 or 4 because I don't know about you guys, but I have I don't know how many projects going at once. And I throw them in a project bag like this. And, I have my little, usually I write on a little piece of paper and clip it to it. And, that's what now I have these. And so I'm going to make 2 or 3 sets. And then the little bag that you can make. And they're a good size. I think they're a really good size. You can really see them, especially when you have projects that they go forever with little tiny pieces. And they also have double letters. Which I'm going to do a little tutorial when we're done on how to make the double letters. Yeah, I might ask her if she could bring in a little light, because that is just too dark, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to do, it's not so much at the machine. Well, it is kind of. I think it's because that light above me isn't working. Okay. But double letters, we're going to learn how to do that with this same file here on the machine. So you would need a no-sew feature. I think that's all you really need is a no-sew feature. If you have a no-sew feature on your machine, then you'll be able to do that. Okay, let me see if she has a little light. She can just maybe a little portable one. And we'll get some light going. Okay, so Jeannie's going to grab a light for us. And we'll make this area a little brighter. Okay, all right. Yes, the light is very dark. We're working on that. We're going to get that taken care of. You're new, Marcia. Well, thanks for being here. Subscribe. Hit the little bell. Here she is.
Here she is,
Here she
Miss
comes
America.
to save the day.
This is how we entertain ourselves at A1. Do you guys remember when every year you would watch Miss Universe?
Yes,
Did
yeah.
you? I watched every year.
Did you?
Oh yeah. I'd be so okay. I was always cheering for Miss USA because I am I'm from the US, and then I would cheer for Korea.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Then I would be like, "Go Korea!" Although Korea never would win or anything.
Oh, I'm sure they have, right? Okay.
Do you mind plugging this in?
Yes. I can do that.
Karen's so demanding. She wants light. Rude.
It's not easy.
Go Korea.
I need to go this way.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Okay, you know whatever
Yes,
you want with it.
that's nice.
There you go,
Yeah.
my darling.
Got one of those slim
I want it.
lines. Now that should be super bright.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Well, maybe not super bright, but brighter. What do you think?
But yeah, it was great.
Now we got a kind of a glare. I'll try and take care of that.
You good? And you can
Yeah.
do ambient. You could like aim it.
Yeah.
Just see like that.
Perfect.
So you can twist. Just put it like that.
Yeah, I like it. Thank
I
you.
have this on mason tape.
Okay. So if you got your kit here, this is what you got. For the most part, I have my stabilizer in here. You're gonna need, I'm doing a 6x10. There's a 5x7. It's the same size, you just do a couple of hoopings, I think. But we're doing the 6x10. Okay. So you're gonna need some regular no mesh cutaway. And you're also going to need, for the bag, some, oh, this is the wash away. This is the medium cutaway. So this one will be, this one, the cutaway is for the letters and the wash away is for the bag. And the reason is because, I don't know if you guys can see here, but the cutaway leaves a little bit, and I think I used even tearaway, but it leaves a little bit of, stabilizer because you're just ripping this away here. So I'm going to do the wash away this time and see if that's better. Okay. That's for the bag. We're going to be doing that after the letters. All right. Good. All right. So let's just hoop this 6x10 up. And got my directions printed out. I've got my design loaded in the machine already. Okay, tighten up that hoop. Feels good. All right. You know, I like to cut some of this off because sometimes it gets in the way. Although this is a very simple file. It's to make the letters, it's really only some felt and thread. Oh, and I haven't picked my color yet. So this is my bag. These I did orange. I don't know, what color do you think? Pink? Pink might look good. That's good. Yellow, we could do like a yellow. Oh, I like the yellow. What do you think about yellow? Yellow or pink? I don't know if I want to do brown. Although that would be pretty. There are some pretty browns. Okay. Maybe I will do like a brown. Brown would be nice. You should be able to see it. Let's see if there's a brown. Oh, there's a pretty brown there. Let's see if I can grab it. I might get in the way of the camera. Sorry. Here we go. This color. What do you think? Brown letters. I think that would look cute. Yeah. All right. I have just a white pre-wound bobbin, and I have a anti-glue needle. Let me switch over to the machine. I'd like this to be over here. There. I have an anti-glue needle, pre-wound bobbin. I'm going to do brown, I think, and just do one color for each. I mean, one color, you know, throughout the whole thing, which is kind of nice. Is anybody making these or planning on making these? I think once you make them, it's addicting. They also have, the file comes with numbers and lowercase. What stabilizer am I hooping? Right now I'm hooping the no-show mesh, or medium cutaway. I think it's medium cutaway. So let me make sure I'm doing the right one, because I'm pretty sure I am. The markers, yes. 6x10 hoop, medium cutaway stabilizer. We're going to need, let's get our supplies ready. Let's get our supplies ready. We are going to need 2 pieces of felt, and I've already cut mine to the 7x12. They're 12 inches high, 7 inches wide, and then we're going to need our vinyl. And if your vinyl has these little creases in it, you can heat up an iron. When it's hot, you would just kind of do this on your mat and put this down on there. Maybe put a clapper or something, and the creases should subside a little bit. I do have a couple of little folds in mine, but you can also use like a hairdryer, something that will help it relax. I'm just going to take it out here. I'll heat up the iron and we'll do that. So I have that, my vinyl, and then thread. That's all we need. We need 2 pieces of vinyl, because one will go on the front and one will go on the back of the hoop. Okay, and you can use, you know, any color of, this comes in all kinds of colors. Kimberbell has some really cute ones. Maybe you could make some letters out of. Yay, Linda, you have the kit. You made one already, Angela. Are you loving it? Are you using it? I use mine all the time. And I always find I need another set, so I'm going to make some more. This is all for our bag. We're going to set all of this aside. All of this is going to be set aside. Okay. So what is our first step? All right, then the directions go into all the cutting instructions for the bag. Okay, but here we go, stitching the markers. We're going to hoop the stabilizer. We did that. So we're going to place the felt on top of the stabilizer. So there's no like placement line. This should fill the hoop. Let's go over there. Whoops. Let's go over there. Let's see. We could probably get a better view of that. It's a little better, huh? So I'm going to, so yeah, it pretty much fills the hoop. So just kind of center it in there. Just like that. Okay. Let's see what's next. They want you to pin at the top and the bottom. I'm not going to do that. I don't like putting pins in my hoop. I'm afraid I'll forget about them, you know. Yes, I'm using... They are great, yes. Make another set. Yeah, you can make as many as you want. That's a wonderful thing about these. Okay. Stitch step 1. And this is just going to do a big square. Oh, and I think it's going to do... Here we go. Okay. Use my little spatula and get my fingers in there. Yeah, there we go. Practice her spelling. That's a really good idea. Yeah, you know, you could even like glue little magnets on the back, and you know, I know when my kid was little, I had little, you know, alphabet magnets, those little alphabet magnets on the fridge, and she used to just play for a long time with those little letters. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think I'm going to like the brown. Light she brought in, it's one of those slimline lights. It's really nice. It's a nice light. It turns every which way. Like get one of those. It doesn't have you put, you know, topping or anything on there. I guess you could. Yes, Pamela, they are. Oh, no, they are not OESD. I'm sorry. These are from Embroidery Garden. If you just Google Embroidery Garden, their website will come up. And she's got all kinds of great designs. And I like the fact that, you know, I can make as many as I want, you know, as far as, you know, you'll have to make a bag each time because really, if you do the double letters too, it kind of fills up the bag. But, I mean, we all have, what is it, like a 9-inch zipper? We all have a bunch of those, right? A little bit of vinyl. It doesn't take much to make these little bags. Cute. Yeah, you can buy markers, but then, you know, you only have the one set. Everybody getting ready for the holidays. I went to get my hair done at the salon I go to, and they have a Christmas tree up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is it time to do all that? It'll look beautiful, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Get through Halloween, right? One holiday at a time, please. Yeah, I'm really liking the brown. What's the sound on the machine? Is it too loud? Oh yes, yeah, 2 way up. Turn this one up. Okay. Is that better? Should be able to hear me and not the machine so much. Let me know if that's better. Let's go over here and look at what we need for the bag. Camera over here. So we need, so all the pieces here, and it tells you here that all the pieces except for J, all the pieces of fabric are one color, which is all of the outside. All of this here, the A, B, C, all the way to J. J is what the one different color, and that's the color that we see in the back. We see it, well, if the letters weren't in here, you would see that. You would see that this color, or this fabric. So whatever fabric you pick for J is the one you're going to see through the vinyl back here. Okay. Oh, let's see, we can iron everything. This is for our letters. So I just want to make sure I cut everything and I cut it right. So let's see. Looks like I have 2 of these. So 2 7x2s. I have those right here. I think I have 3 of these. The vinyl. 7 by 5.5. Okay, we have that. 2 pieces that are 7 and 2.5. Pretty sure that's these. Yep, 2.5, so 2 of those. A piece of batting that is let's see, 1 piece of batting that is 2 inches by, let's see, is that 2 inches? Yeah, 2 inches by 7. And then 2 more pieces that are 2.5 by 7 of the fabric. 1 piece of batting that's 1 3/4 by 7. And 1 3/4, 1, so our J. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. So our contrast is actually L. So this is J, this is the back of the bag. Sorry about that. This is J. And then our batting, and then L. And this is what shows through the vinyl. Okay, looks like I got everything. And they have all the letters, so what they expect you to do is make the letters and then label your cuts here. Okay, so now we know we have everything for that. So I'm going to try and get these little waves out of my, I'm going to get this warm. I don't want to put the iron on my vinyl, of course, so that's nice and warm. I'm going to lay my vinyl down, kind of hold it there. It's not going to get them out completely, but it's going to help. It's not too bad. You could lay something over your vinyl and put the iron on there, but I would do that maybe with the iron on low. So I'm just going to hold it like that. It's a little bit better. You could put like a clapper or something on top here. That would help. But look, that made a huge difference. We don't have a clapper back here. But yeah, that's better. And then that goes on the back when these are done. Where am I looking for the measurements? I'm looking on page 2 of the instructions. So on page 1, we have the instructions for, am I in the view? There we go. Page 1, we have the materials needed for the markers. And that's just the felt. What to cut the felt, it's 7 by 12. A piece of vinyl, 7 by 12. Or 2 pieces of felt and 1 piece of vinyl. That's all you need for the letters. And those are on page 1. And then page 2 has all your cutting instructions for the bag. And where I have a problem with instructions is this right here. Does anybody else reading when you have to cut more than 1 piece of the same size? That's where I tend to mess up. I get to cutting and I'm just like, oh, a piece of fabric, 7 by 2, and I just do 1. But I need 2, and so it's not
12.
Yeah, or 12. And I never do it until I start sewing it out, and then I'm like, well, shoot, I only got 1. So sometimes I circle them, sometimes I highlight them. But yeah, that's why I kind of went over my pieces. I wanted to make sure. But that's my bad habit, is looking at how many to cut. So that's what I do. But that's on page 3. And it does say before we start our bag, we might as well get some of that done, right? Let's see, it says before starting, press pieces A and B in half lengthwise. So let's get A and B. Those are the 7 by 2s. Should be these 2. A and B, they want you to iron in half here. Sometimes I put best press, which I might do that. I might have some here. And then it says fold 1 long edge on each piece to the center. Just 1 edge to the center like this. And just 1 of them. Okay. And let's see, I have this, it's kind of like a clapper. It's got some wood under there. See if I can't get that to stay. Okay. So we have just 1 edge. This is what it should look like. It should just have 1 folded edge, just like that. Okay, you can even turn it over and make sure you get a good fold 1 long edge to the center and press. Okay. See, their picture looks like it has a lot less, almost like they folded it twice. But that doesn't say to do that, but I'm thinking that's what we're supposed to do because I want it to look like the picture. Okay, before starting, press A and B in half. We did that. Fold 1 edge on each piece into the center and press. Fold 1 edge to the center and press again. But that says it in the picture. I'm thinking I'm thinking they want you to do it like that because that looks like the picture. Is anybody else looking at the directions? You see how they just have a little bit here, and if I just do it once, I have a whole lot? What do you guys think? This is Embroidery Gardens design. Hoop size is 6 by 10. Yes, I'm doing 6 by 10. If you do the 5 by 7, you're going to do the same size letters, I believe. It's just you're going to do 2 hoopings. Oh, I am on the wrong oh, you know why? Because my camera went kaput. What's going on with my camera over here? Let's do that. Can you guys see me now? Sorry about that. I thought I was on this camera. Did it switch over by itself? Or am I crazy? Okay, so if we look at the picture, you see how there's just a little bit hanging out? I think they folded over twice, but they're not saying that here. I'm already confused. So, but if I fold it over again, I do have that little bit. What do you think? You think we should just fold it over twice? I don't remember. I made this so long ago, and I did make mistakes on the bag. So I don't want to make those same mistakes. My mistake on the bag was the orientation of the vinyl. I messed that up, so I got to make sure I don't do that. But I'm kind of thinking this is what it's supposed to look like. I don't know, but anyway, let's do it to the other one. Okay. Fold it in half. Morning, CJ. Thanks for being here. Fold it once to the center. And yeah, I'm thinking we have to fold it over again, even though it doesn't say. And it even looks like it in the picture. If you look closely, it looks like that's a folded edge there, not a raw edge. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it twice. If I mess it up, then we know, right? So I folded one edge to the center. I'm going to fold it one more time. I'm doing it. Woo, that's hot. I want to put this on here. Ugh. Okay. I'm thinking that's what we're supposed to do. I don't think I'm reading it wrong. Fold one long edge on each piece into center and press. One long edge. But I think you have to do it twice. Because I think that's a fold right there. It's not just, yeah. What do you guys think? Should I make a note? I'm going to make a note. Fold over twice. That's going to be my note. We'll see how it stitches out, but I think that's right. Okay? What do you guys think? You folded it over twice and it worked for you. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Angela. Good, good, good. I feel better about doing it. Yeah. Okay, so make a little note in your pattern if you want to do it that way. And I think that's pretty much all the prep. Yeah, I think that's all the prep for the bag. Yeah. I think that was another thing that because that's going to go here and on the other side too. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad it worked, Angela. I was a little nervous about trying it. But we're going to do it. It's going to be great. Oh, we're almost done. Now before you put the vinyl on, you're going to want to get rid of all these little jump threads. I think I forgot to do that on my first set. I mean, it doesn't, doesn't really take away, but there are some. When you use a dark color like that, you can really see them. it comes with lowercase letters. I wonder what you would use those for. I can't think of a use for lowercase. I mean, there must be. I know numbers, like you can use the numbers like when you're putting your quilt together and you have, 8 rows or whatever. You want to keep the rows numbered so that you put them together, especially if you have an intricate pattern. You really want to know which row is first and second and third. I don't have a design board, so that comes in handy for me. So that's what I use the numbers for, but I don't know what I would use lowercase letters for. Any thoughts on that? Is there anything you use those specifically for, or I don't know. They'd be good for, like Angela said, if you're teaching your grandchildren to spell and capitals, when to use capital letters and stuff, that would be good. Okay, we are almost done. Let me try and move this a little bit. Look better. Okay, looks okay. Move this camera around just a little bit. Okay. With that, our letters are done. Just like that. Let's go here. Okay. My vinyl. That's pretty flat. I'm going to tape that just so that's for a bag. And here are our letters. We're going to want to get rid of these jump stitches. Roll over these cords. Sorry if I bump the camera. Let's find some scissors. Little scissors, and I like to use, just in case. I don't have my little hook scissors. I hang those on the machine. And I didn't bring them. The little scissors that have a hook on the end, they're so useful for this. Okay, there's one. Kind of hard with these because I don't want to mess up the felt. Okay, there's one in the B, because this is all going to be under felt. You're not going to be able to get to it. I have some better tweezers. Oh, look, I have some with hooks. Look at that. These are what I'm talking about. The little hook on the end there. That is really useful for these. If you don't have one, I want my little, look at all this junk I have in here. I mean, I use it all. Here they are. Here they are. And you know what? These are just makeup. I don't know. I think they're just makeup ones that I had. But they grab everything really well. Even when they're short like this, I can get the scissors under there, I can get it gone. So the little hook goes underneath. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if I can show you. But this little hook on here gets right underneath. And there you go. That makes it so much easier. If you don't have these, it's just, they're nice to have. Okay, let's see. Any other ones? I don't see any more. Okay, let's get our directions. These are more for my serger, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's read the directions. Place the vinyl on top, covering the felt, and secure with tape. Oh, I hope I have some tape back here. I have some painter's tape. Hopefully that's not too sticky for the vinyl. Everything sticks to this vinyl. So I'm going to want to pull this vinyl just a little bit just to get this wrinkle out of here. Just kind of like that. There we go. There. That looks pretty good. I'm going to put some on the side. Just in case. And we're just doing little squares around everything. So we're going to put, I imagine, the felt on the back now, right? Let's read. Okay, we did that. We taped it in place. On the back of the hoop, center the other piece of felt and secure that with tape. Okay, there are our letters. Boy, look at that tension. That's some good tension there. Okay, I'm on the Avenir, by the way, if you didn't know. I didn't say I am on the Avenir, so I just made sure that I covered my letters. Put some tape on each side here. Okay. Get over and kind of push on it. Okay. Well, let's read. Okay, we did that. Now it says stitch step 2. This step bastes vinyl and felt in place, and then stitches an outline around each letter. Use the same top thread and bobbin thread. So only one color shows on the back of the markers. I don't know, is that necessary? I guess if you really want brown back here too, it's just going to be the little square part. I'm just going to leave white in there. I'm just going to leave white, but you can use the same color. It is like a bean stitch, so it's not, let's go back to the machine. Okay. All right. And here we go. This is why I have the anti-glue needle, is when I work on vinyl. I like to have the anti-glue needle. Barely caught it here, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be just cutting around the letters. So I'm going to get a cutting station going here. Clean up my mess I just made. rotary cutter. Yeah, see, it is a bean stitch that goes all the way around. So if you want the same color on the back, then that's what it would look like. If you don't know the anti-glue, well, I have the case here. I'll show you these. These are the Oregon anti-glue. I don't know if you can see that. Put some light on the subject, right? They're 7511, and they're anti-glue, which means they have a coating on them, like a non-stick coating. So I think it helps with the vinyl. Just kind of goes through a little easier. I think the thread doesn't break as much, and all of that. I use these really all the time. I just keep one of these in my stash, and I use it a lot in embroidery. So yeah, that is the needle I'm using. This C seems a little off-centered, doesn't it? I wonder if it is on here. Let's find the C. You know, if I was smart, I would make a bag just for the double letters. Because, you know, you don't use them as often. So I may do that too. Just looking, yeah. So here's the C. It is just a little off. I just wanted to make sure I didn't do something wrong, move my design, or so if your C isn't perfectly centered, that's the way it's supposed to be. And it doesn't matter. For what we use these for, All we really need to see is the letter. You know, for those of us with a little bit of OCD, we'll be okay, right? We'll be okay. How's everybody doing? Is anybody stitching with me right now? I know the way I like to do it. If I'm going to make something and there's a video, I like to watch the whole video and then do it. Yay, Linda, yay. What color are your letters? I'm curious. Are you using the kit? Do you have the kit? Are you using those colors for your bag? The brown and with the pretty flowers. Are you using that, or are you using something else? Just curious what color you picked. I'd love to see them on Facebook too. You have the kit? Yay. Oh, you did brown too. That's great. I like the brown. I think the brown is going to look really nice in the bag. We're all good. Yes. Almost done with our letters. Going to move on to our little bag. Aren't they fun?
They are. I have a set.
Do you? Just
Yeah, I
one? How can you just have one?
Well, because I don't do a lot
you
in
don't
the
quilt.
No, I don't quilt, and I don't do a lot in the meat stuff as
that's
much as I used to.
That's true.
So, but it's still good for like my sewing patterns.
right.
You know, so it's like, okay, this is A, this is B. I use them for that. Well, this is lining, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have use for everything.
They
For
do.
my bag patterns.
They do.
A lot of the small pieces on a bag for like, you know, where the D rings go, and like they're all about the same size.
Right, that's
But they
true.
might only vary like by a quarter of an inch. So if you're not paying attention,
Yes.
grab the wrong piece.
Yeah, exactly. They could be so close in size. Yes, Linda, I think that's I would think that's the main function for me that I would use the numbers for. Is I you know, especially when you have a quilt where, you know, the rows have to make the design in the long run. They have to go a very specific way, so your rows have to be. It's so easy when you're sewing to. I've done it so many times. You finally think, oh, I'm done, and you put the rows together, and you're like, oh no. I'm not doing that again. I will number my rows every time. Yeah. You been there? I bet. Oh, it's so frustrating sometimes. But that's all part of it. I think quilting and sewing and embroidery and all these things, they really teach us patience, don't they? I know for me. All right. What is that? I wonder. Okay. All right, our letters are done. Let's go here. We do have some little jump threads here that we can take care of quickly. I threw everything back in my I need to keep my look at my mess. This is where I keep all the tools that I use the most, and it's like the dumbest system ever because here they are. I am forever looking for something in there. I need to think of something better. And that sits right by my machine, right on the side of my machine. I'm constantly digging through here. There's so many things in there that don't need to be in there. It became my catch-all, and then the stuff that I need, I can't find. I sabotage myself. Okay. One there. Okay. Let's take it out of the hook. Forgot to say, make sure there's, nothing in there you don't want in there forever. It'll be in there forever. You guys see? Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. All right, so here's the back. Oh, I have these little, you might want to go through at some point. All these little knots, all these little jump, if they bother you, I will probably do that. I will do that eventually. Okay. Okay. I got my rotary cutter. I got my Quilter Select, which is my favorite. Now we're going to go 1/8 of an inch away from our bean stitch, or our little square stitch around here. So I'm just going to line up the 1/8 of an inch with that line there and cut. And I'm going to do the bottom, 1/8 of an inch. And 1/8 of an inch all the way down. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Be a little careful because it might want to slide around with the vinyl there. I want to put a little bit more pressure than we're used to. Go. Okay. And then we cut them all apart. But just like that. All right. So I won't make you, we'll get the bag started and then we'll cut in between. Okay. Just want to make sure we don't cut our bean stitch. That's the only thing we need to worry about. Okay. So there you go. We have a little pile there. Look at that. Aren't they cute? I think they're cute. I think they're cute. Okay, let's get our bag going, shall we? We're going to do the 6 by 10 again. Stitching the bag. It's telling us do not sew the last step of this design. It is an X right below the last stitch of the design. This step is there to prevent the needle from returning to the center so it doesn't catch on anything. Okay. So we're going to hoop our stabilizer, and I am using wash away, which is, you know, different than what I would normally use to make a bag. But like I showed you, I don't know if you can see it, but there's just a little bit of stabilizer here. I think I used cutaway. It wasn't even tear away, and I couldn't cut close enough. But if you use, and it tells you can use water soluble, then you can just, you know, with a Q-tip and water, get rid of that little line. You know, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure I've ever made a bag with wash away. I'm not sure it matters, right? I wouldn't think it matters. Okay, what does it say? Should we just keep our brown in for now? I think so. I think it'll be okay. So step 1 is the zipper placement. Good. Let's load our, step 1 is load the design. That's step 1. Oh, you know what? Let's do our little tutorial on how to make the double letters, shall we? Let's see, this little thing is in my way. I'm going to take this and move it. Let me get you a good view of the screen here. And we'll do that. Am I zoomed in here? Let's make sure I'm not zoomed in. Yeah, I think I am. Or maybe not. Let's do that so I can see. Okay, so I might move the camera around a little bit so we can see, but until done, let's move you over here. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our letters on our USB. We're going to set, and we're going to go to embroidery. Then we're going to go to layout. No, we want to. Okay, so but we don't go to embroidery. Let's start over. I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's start over. We go and get our design. I haven't used the no-sew feature, so it's new to me. So we're going to pick, we're going to set. Okay, that's where we're going to be, and we're going to go to edit. Edit up here. There's a no-sew button. Okay, so we're going to click on the no-sew. Now, we want to no-sew the letters, which is the first. So we're going to push no-sew because that's highlighted. We could do the black, which is the outline of all the letters, or we could do the red, or the reddish brown. That's what we want to get rid of and do a no-sew. So we're going to push the button no-sew down here. Now they're gone, okay? Then we're going to say okay, because that's what we want. Now we're going to add, because we're going to add our own letters. And we're going to go to letters. And we're going to find some letters. We don't want too little. We don't want too big. I wonder how big these are. Let's look at just the first ones. Let's do A. They're kind of big, but I think I can make them small. So, yeah, my Solaris has large, medium, small. This does not have that. I think I just have to set it and then make them the size I want on the Avenir. So let's set, and then we're going to edit, and we're going to go to size. And I'm going to use this one that has all 4 arrows pointing in to make things smaller. And that means all 4 sides are going to proportion as I make it smaller. So I can hold it, make them small, and then I would use a mouse or something, but I think I'm going to move it up to the square. I'm going to see, yeah, they need to be a lot smaller. And, move them over just a little bit. I would use a mouse. I have a mouse here. I had one. Oh, here it is. Let's plug a mouse in, because I think I can really, I don't know what I would use for a mouse pad, but maybe I can figure it out. Maybe I could do it on my pants. Yeah. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to try and I'm going to move it just a little bit. Well, that's not. You know what? Let's use these arrows. There. So you can click outside and you can. Can't I? Okay. So now you can see the A's are in there. They look good. And then I would just do that with B's. And you guys see? I zoom in. Let's zoom in a little bit. I think I can do that. It's a little better. So you guys can see that my A's are within the box. You could make them a little smaller. Oh, shoot, I'm making the wrong thing smaller. I'm making this whole thing. I need to click outside of that. Click on my A's. Now I can make my A's just a little smaller. There, I think that's perfect. So you would have to go through and do the A all to Z, but then you have your double letters. Good. We're going over how to do the double letters.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, how cute!
Aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that color.
That's a good color. Yeah.
Yeah, matches the bag. Yes, on the Solaris they do have small, medium, and large. So you can pick a letter, and then whether you want it to be small, medium, and large. And that may be the perfect size to begin with, depending on which font you pick. But yes, this machine does not have that. You have to make it the size you want in the edit. So what do we think? Does that make sense to everybody? So then you would say okay, and then embroidery when you're all done. Let's do that. Yeah, you would just say embroidery when you're all done, and then it would make these just like normal. All right. And that was our little tutorial. All right, so I'm going to move you back over here so I don't make you super sick. Moving this camera back because I have to move it quite a bit. There we go. All right, we'll see how that works out. I got to put my thread stand back. Okay, onto the bag. We'll go back to the machine. Tweak our view if we need to. Were there any questions on that? Let's see. See, this is why I cut the... That always gets in the way. All right. First step. First step on the bag. Get rid of my mouse here. Is load the design. Okay, set. Embroider. All right, I'm going to leave the brown in for now. And it's going to put the placement for our zipper. So let's go back over here. It talks about using tape on our zipper to hold it down. And that is a good idea. I have this basting tape. It's by Annie. I have some here. And it says to put it on the back of the zipper, not on the teeth. So I'm just going to put some like this, just to kind of hold it, just rip it, just kind of hold it in place, because the zipper can move if you don't tape it a lot. But this might be better. I've never done this before, so we'll see how this works. So this is what I use. I use this a lot when I'm installing zippers, just to hold them down. Let me get my hoop. Okay. All right, so the directions say apply the tape to each long edge on backside of zipper. Remove the paper. Center the zipper in the guidelines. Have the zipper right side up with the zipper pull to the left, outside the guideline. So we want to make sure the zipper pull and the little tab here is outside of the sewing. So, okay. And our zipper is longer. So let's take off this tape. That leaves the glue. Let's see how this works. If this works, I might do this all the time. So I'm going to start on this end, and I'm just kind of doing one side. I'm just kind of making sure that it's in there, and it is. Okay. Now I want to see the other side before I put it down here. There we go. We'll see how that holds. I put my zipper pull over here. There. I still have my anti-glue in, so I'm not worried about gumming up my needle. I'm not even sure this does. I think it says on there that it doesn't, but you never know. Okay. As you can see, our zipper is longer as needed, so it is taped and cut even with inside edge of hoop. Okay. So it shows you how they're doing that. So now we're going to stitch step 2, and we're going to tack down our zipper. Okay. I still don't think that leaving the brown in is going to be a problem, so I'm going to leave that in. Let's go back to the machine. I can get a better view, I think. There, it's a little better. I can zoom in on the needle maybe. Let's do that. There, a little better. Okay, so it's going to go on each side of the zipper. Well, it just goes right on the edge. So yeah, I'd say that that glue is kind of important. If you're off just a little, it's not going to catch it. All right. Back over to the table. Oh, done. Over here. Okay. See how that's just right on the edge there? So yeah, that tape is, I'd say, if you don't use that tape, make sure you really, really tape it because it could miss it. All right, what's next? On the front side of the hoop, place piece A right side down with long raw edge along the bottom of the zipper. It has a little picture. So that's one of these that we have like this. So it wants the raw edge lined up with the bottom of the zipper. Oh, I should have got some tape ready. Okay. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Just kind of lining up this. So we're going to tape that down. And then this side. And we're going to tape this down. Okay, so it should look like that. It's pretty lined up with the bottom there. And there you go, just like that. Now I did fold that over twice, just so you know. I think that that's the way it needs to be though. Okay, back to the machine. I think it's going to do just a stitch along that raw edge. It's going to stitch down here. Right down here it's going to stitch. Okay. Back to the table. Oh, didn't hit the camera. There we go. So it's stitched right along here. Let's see what's next. Oh, I should have kept reading. I should have put one on the back too. We're going to have to run that stitch again. Not a problem. Where's my other little folded piece? Here we go. Okay, so I have my folded piece here. Let's get some tape ready. got ahead of myself. All right, on the back of the hoop, we're doing the same thing. We're lining up the raw edge with the bottom of the zipper. Fold that over. Put some tape down. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Put some tape down. Okay, and we're going to run that stitch again. Let's go back to the machine. So we're going to do that plus minus, and we're going to go back up one, and we're going to run that stitch again. Okay, there we go. Okay. See, crisis averted. Okay. Back to the table. Okay, there we go. Yeah. On the back side of the hoop, fold piece B down at the seam and secure with tape. So I think we can use that tape again. So we're going to fold it down like this. Okay. Might want to put a little one in the middle, huh? Let's just do that. I think I can, yeah. So I'm just going to put a little thin piece here just because it wants to pop up a little bit there. And I'm going to turn this over and really push on that. Okay, and I think I'm going to be doing the same thing, but let's read. Okay, on the back, we folded it down, secured with tape. Then it says put the Dritz Wonder Tape, which I'm using the by Annie basting, on the top long edge, the 7-inch edge of the vinyl piece. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to set this on the machine. Get my piece of vinyl. There we go. And on the 7-inch edge, make sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's the 7-inch edge. I get my basting. Basting tape. And we're going to put some along the edge. I know it's probably hard for you to see. It's just hard for me to see, but we want to get right along that edge. And then we can just rip it off. Oops, the bigger piece than I wanted came off. So let's cut that. Okay. Oh, somewhere there. Okay. All right. We have our tape. Remove the paper backing, it says. Now we have glue there. On the front side of the hoop, I'm going to set this over here. Bring our hoop back in. We got our vinyl. Place vinyl piece, sticky part down, along the stitching that's just sewn. Okay, so this is our stitch line that just sewn. I wonder if we should remove this tape, huh? It doesn't say to do that, but I'm going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to put this edge right along that stitching. Kind of centered. Oh, sticky side down. Okay. All right. Should be good. Now we're going to fold this over the vinyl. Okay, we're going to fold it over the vinyl. And it should be lining up with the... That's pretty close. Okay. Oh, it's not lining up on that side. There we go. Close enough. Close enough for government work, right? Okay. We're going to do this side. And I'm going to put a little piece in the middle because it wants to pop up. All right. Should be evenly aligned. It's pretty close. I think the bottom one is a little thicker, but not much. Okay. Stitch step 4. 2 rows of top stitching will secure fabrics and vinyl in place. Let's go do that. Okay. Still using brown, but I do have a white bobbin, so if that bothers you, it might be white on the inside. Take this off now. I don't want it to catch. My little spatula. Okay. Okay, now our vinyl is down. Okay. Let's see what's next. Do I need to take it out of it? Probably. Take it out of the machine. Okay. Yep, I need to take it out. Let's take it out. I'm going to go over here. There's our nice stitching line. And here's the back. So you might want to change that, but that's going to be on the inside of the bag. If somebody's looking there, I don't know why. Okay. Let's see. On the front side of the hoop, place piece D right side down with one long edge lined up with the lower edge of the vinyl and secure with tape. All right, so D. We don't have ours labeled, so I need to see what D is. This is why we need D. The 7 by 2.5. So one of these. This is 2.5. Yeah. Okay, so one of these. Okay. Right side down with one long edge lined up with the bottom of our vinyl. And then we'll tape that in place. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that little bubble. It's hard to see where the vinyl is. It's clear. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. That should hold. That's on the front of the hoop. Now let's go to the back of the hoop. I think we can take this off, even though it doesn't say, but I'm going to. Okay, back of the hoop. Let's see. Place piece E, right side down. Same thing. So I'm not gonna assume. I'm gonna look. E is also 2.5 inches. So that's one of these. Let's make sure. Yep, 2.5. So what are we lining this up with, right? Right side down with one long edge lined up with the lower edge of the vinyl. And fabric just placed on the front. So I guess you just want to make sure you're lined up with this fabric, right? You would think it would give me a little stitch line. Okay. I think that's pretty good. So let's see. Yeah, right side down. All right. Stitch step 5. And this will secure the fabric and the vinyl along the lower edge. Okay, let's do that. Stitch step 5. Let's go back to the machine. Oh, I've been on the machine this whole time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So this is bad. Could you guys, was I not on it? So sorry. Okay. So I lined it up with the bottom edge of the vinyl here, right side down, 2.5 by 7 piece. And then on the back, there's no line or anything to line it up with. So you just got to kind of figure out where the bottom of that piece you just laid in the front is and kind of line it up with that. And that's what I did. So you can't see either piece when I look on the front or the back. So now we're going to secure those pieces down. Okay. Okay. Okay, make sure I'm on the right camera. All right, so now it's going to do a line across the bottom here. Okay. Move the camera, Karen. There we go. Now back at the table. All right. Okay. Then it says, on the front side of the hoop, place one long edge of batting F along the seam just sewn. Okay, so let me take this out because I'm pretty sure we're going to fold that over. I need some new tape. That's used up. Let's look at the picture. Yeah, and then we're going to fold it down. So let's see. Batting F is the 7 by 2, so it's the bigger of the two. We only have 2 little pieces. So it's this one. we're going to line that up with our line we just stitched, and this is going to come down like so. And you can spray it, they say, but I think, put it up a little bit more here. I think the, here we go. I think the batting holds it down pretty well. The batting all the way up to that line. Okay. All right, let's see what it says. So yeah, it says to spray. You can use spray. I'm not going to. Fold the fabric down. We did that. Secure with tape. I'm just going to secure it with little pieces. Okay. There's that. On the back of the hoop, fold fabric piece E down along the seam and secure with tape. So we're not putting any batting in this one. We're just folding it down. And tape. Secure the sides too. Okay. Oh, a little bit of a wrinkle here. Let's straighten it out. Okay. A bit of a wrinkle here. Okay, that looks good. Let's turn it over and push on that tape a little bit. Okay. Stitch step 6. Let's go back to the machine. Okay. Okay. Just as a stitch along the top there. Okay. Back to the table. Okay. Let's see what's next. On the front side of the hoop, place piece G right side down with one long edge along top of zipper. Secure with tape. What's G? G is 7 by 2.5. It's one of these. Okay. Right side down with one long edge on top of zipper. And we're going to secure that with tape. Maybe not this tape. It's got fuzzy. Okay. That's one side. Actually, I need to get it on the vinyl a little bit. Make sure it's lined up with the top of the zipper. Just going to put some on the top and the bottom. Just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, because I'm sure I'm going to have to turn the hoop over. Okay, place G right side down, long top. Make sure, yeah. Next, on the back of the hoop. Place H. H is, I'm sure, another 2.5 by 7. It is. It's one of these. Right side down. Along the top of the zipper, just like on top. Put that there. Let's get some tape going. Okay, let's do the top and bottom too. Just like on top. Get a big enough piece here. This little piece here. It's going to come off my finger. There we go. Push that down. Okay. Stitch step 7. All right, let's do that. Back to the machine. There we go. Still using brown. My little caught on the tape. Use that again. Sorry about shaking the camera. All right, back to the table. All right, what does it say? On the back of the hoop, fold the fabric. Fold fabric up along the seam and secure with tape. Okay. Let's get this tape off of here. There we go. Okay. Oh, am I not? Yeah, I did. I moved you over. Okay. I'm all paranoid about moving the camera now. Okay. Okay, I'm going to fold that up. And we're going to secure it with tape. Okay. Turn it over and push that down. Okay. Oh, they want us to cut the stabilizer out from behind the zipper. Okay. That's not a problem. Just don't cut your fabric. Sorry if my hands get in the way. Just want to make sure I don't cut my fabric. This is water soluble, so if you don't get it all, and you can just take a Q-tip to it with some water. There we go. Okay. All right. What is next? On the front side of the hoop, place one long edge of batting along the seam line, just sewn. Okay, so we only have this other little piece, but it does say I. Let's just make sure it's the right size. This is why marking your stuff is important. Well, I know it is, but I just want to make sure. Here we go. Yeah, 1 3/4. So this one's a little thinner. So we're going to line that right up there. And other side. Use spray. They want you to use spray, but I'm not going to. Fold the fabric up, covering the batting, and secure with tape. Okay. I don't think we need this much tape, but you know, better safe than sorry. Okay, I assume it's going to go right here. Okay, step 8. This stitches the fabrics above the zipper. Back to the machine. A lot of back and forth on this one. Let me get my little all right. Okay, now we need to unzip the zipper halfway. Very important. Okay. I didn't want that. On the front of the hoop, place piece J right side down. Okay. Let's take it out of the hoop. Take it out of the machine.
Those people haven't been around for a long time. Reen actually did design the very first in the hoop bag.
Really?
In an embroidery machine. Yeah, about 18 years ago. She used to design in Brother PE Design software. She started with version 3 and PE Designs now at 11. But I think she does Dime now. She has her own software now.
Yeah, she does her own software. I see her on YouTube.
Yeah.
Reen.
Yeah.
Is her, yeah. Yeah, she's really nice.
She is a sweet lady.
Yeah, she is.
It's a pleasure to work with.
Very knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Reen owns Embroidery Garden. She was saying that she was the first one to do an in-the-hoop bag, zipper bag. A bazillion years ago, probably. Okay. It wants fabric or piece J, which J is our big piece here. This is J. All right, what's next? So we're going to place this right side down. I wonder I wonder what the bag looked like. The very first one. Okay, batting K. That's probably our big piece of batting here. Oops. Wait a minute, let's make sure. Yeah, because, yeah, J is. Here's our batting. And we're going to put our batting on top of that. And then we're going to stitch step 9. So let's line these up proper. So there's a photo. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So we're on the front of the hoop. And we're lining all of these up. Okay. It's going to do a stitch up here, just a single little stitch up here. All right, let's go to the machine. Oh, I'm at the machine. Oh, bless America. Okay, let's do it again. We're taking our J fabric, which is our backing, and we're laying this right side down on top. And then we're taking our batting and we're laying that on top of that, like so. There we go. And we should tape. So let's just tape the top, and let's just tape the top because that's where it's going to be stitching. I don't really like to tape right on batting because it kind of shreds it. Let's go to the machine. And it's just going to do that little line on top here. Just hold it down a little bit. Make sure it doesn't move. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go to the back of the hoop. Maybe we should put some tape on the bottom. Move the camera over. Just so it doesn't flop around. What's this one? Not too much on there. It's getting kind of thick. Okay. So we're going to go to the back of the hoop. All right. Place L. My L needs to be ironed, I think. Look at that. It's got a big hard fold in the middle. I'm going to iron my L. I'm going to set this on the machine because it's a flat surface. Got an ironing pad here. I said we were going to finish cutting our letters between doing the bag, but this bag is pretty back and forth. Okay, well, it's not bad. It to be smooth. I could put some. It has a crease like that in it. Oh. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Hoop. How are we doing? Okay. Backside. place this piece L face down, covering our bag. Could probably use this tape. I probably don't need this tape as much anymore. Tape this a little bit more than the front, just because okay. So let's flip it over and push that tape down a little bit. Okay. Looks pretty good. Piece there that we don't want to stick. Okay. All right, I did that. And then we're going to stitch step 10. And we're not going to stitch step 11, so this is our last one. I'm just going to go all the way around. Now, I really want this because we're doing a lot of, it's very thick. Okay, here we go. Yes, I am, Cindy. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining. Yeah. We're almost done. Ooh, that's thick. Okay. The Avenir's doing just fine. Okay. Now we're not going to do our last step. I don't know why though, there's really nothing to catch on, but okay. Better safe than sorry, right? Oh, let's move the camera. Okay. Remove the design from the hoop and trim about 1/4 inch away from the stitching. Leave a 1/2 inch at the opening. The opening's up here, so if you look here, you can see the opening, even though it's closed on the front. Also, leave the zipper ends extended about 1/2 inch. That's always a good practice. And clip notches in the corner without cutting the stitching. Okay, let's take our tape off. See how that does this? But we're going to be cutting all that off, so I think we're okay. Let's take our tape off back here. Okay. Should we use pinking shears? I'm not sure that's really necessary, but maybe it's just that I don't like going through zippers with that. I guess I could always put on a new row. You know, when I have these crafting scissors that I usually use for zippers, and I think we'll just use regular scissors. So I'm going to do it from this way because I want to see where that opening is. Remember, we're using water soluble. So let's go down to 1/4 inch here. We'll go this way, right?
Doesn't that make everybody excited?
I'm excited. Okay, let's cut this off. about 1/4 of an inch here, and then turn. So it wants us to leave a little extra outside of our zipper. Our zipper is stuck down, remember? So I'm using these crafting tape, scissors. They're serrated. They're actually Tim Holtz for paper crafting. So if we want to leave the zipper a little longer, then we will cut around it, right? Yeah. Cut around the zipper. If you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. Got the zipper. I don't usually cut around the zipper. I usually just, but because this is kind of a pain. There. Got past the zipper. My zipper's sticking out a little bit more. And I'm going to use Steam-A-Seam to close the opening. But I have to be careful because there is vinyl. Coming up on the zipper again. There we go. Leave it about like that. Okay. Let's cut this off so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I want to cut around the zipper, but I only want to do 1/4 of an inch. I want to cut too close. Do that. Let's get this. There. And then on this side, let's cut it. I don't know if I'm in frame or not. Just trying to get this without cutting the zipper. Like I said, I usually just cut the zipper. But it is a good idea to leave your zipper a little longer than your seam. Just because the zipper can, you know, you're yanking on it, opening it and closing it, and it can, oh, there we go. It can come out. I've never had it happen, but you know, you hear stories. Okay. Okay. So the only thing you're closing are these two here. So you don't need any of this. So I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch. Cut that off. Okay. Oh, I can even cut a little bit more. Okay. All right, see my zipper sticking out a little bit. That's what they want. Okay. All right, let's cut this off. Got close there. I didn't get very close here. Just want to make sure we don't have too much going on in the seam. Okay. So we are going to pull this. I'm going to get my iron heating up. Just make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong. Or jumping the gun. I like to do that. Trim the bulk from the opening. Right. Turn the case through the opening. Okay. We're ready to do this part. This fun part. It's got some vinyl in there, so it's not going to be as easy as if it was just fabric, but it's not impossible. Okay. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of, it's going to have that stabilizer on the front. Okay. Poke out some corners. I'm going to get as much as I can with my fingers. And then I'll go to my turning tool here. I have a clover. This one's my favorite. I've just had, I mean, the other ones are great too. They're all wonderful. This is just the one that I've been using forever. Okay. Get those corners out as best as I can. Looks pretty good. So let's see what it says. Fold the edges in at the opening and whip stitch the opening closed. So it wants me to close this first. I'll do that. So I have this stitch line here, and that's what I'm going to follow. I don't want to see that if I can help it. This is all going to be on the inside of the bag, so you know, it doesn't have to be. I can't really iron this side, but I can iron this side, and I'm going to before I put my tape on. I'm going to do that. I'm going to iron here just to tell the material what I want it to do. I'm going to tell it, I want you in there like that. And usually it minds me. Okay, that looks pretty good from both sides. Now I'm going to get my steam-a-seam. Just kind of measure it out here. So I'm going to put it on the lining, this thinner piece that doesn't have all the batting. And I want to get it pretty close to the edge. So I'm just kind of, you know, I made it a little long. Thought I got my scissors. Well, I had them. Let's find some other ones. Okay. Grab some scissors, any scissors. Cut that off. Tuck that down in there. So it's right on the edge. They actually did pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that hot. Okay. And that's I'm going to cool it before I peel that tape off. It's really hot. Okay, so now I'm going to reach in here and I'm going to pull that tape off. If you need to use a stiletto or something, but I think I'm good. Now I'm gonna.
Your camera is showing the
Oh.
sewing machine. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Sorry, Linda. I've been doing that all day. I need a little shock collar. I'm sorry. Okay. So I put some, flipped it through. You can see I'm on the inside of the bag. We're going to take this off in a minute. The zipper's right inside out. Everything's inside out. Now I'm closing up this little hole here with some steam-a-seam. Here's my steam-a-seam. This, I have a box of it here so you can see what it is. This stuff is wonderful. I mean, you can, if you like close up a hem or something with this, you can wash, and I mean, it's like a permanent thing when you do it. It's great for, you know, little kids' clothes, you know, when they're always tearing stuff and you don't want to sew it. Just grab some of this. So this stitch line here, I don't want to see that if I can help it. So I'm going to put that through here. I've already taken the paper off of the steam-a-seam. So when I iron this, it's going to be permanent. I'm going to try not to burn my fingers. So we're still inside out. And like I said, I don't want to iron it on this side because this is vinyl. So we only want to iron it on this. Now you could sew it. It says, you know, to whip stitch it or what have you, but this is fine for me. I mean, look at that. Look at that nice bond, you know, and it looks good from both sides. Nobody can ever know. I have some little, so sorry. I should have the chat in front of me here when I'm over here. I can't see it. Sorry. Okay. What is next? We closed our little hole here. We're still inside out. Remove the stabilizer from the front. Now this is where, if you used the cutaway, this is where you might see it. Okay, you do have a little lip here. You know, but let's try and get as close as we can. And if we leave some, then it's water soluble, so we can just, there we go. I want to get up in there though. Don't want to cut your fabric. You don't want to cut, you don't want to mess up your vinyl. But there we go. Get a good little grip on it with your scissors. You know, I think tearaway might be good for this, you know. Let's do it over here. Kind of like holding it taut and then cutting it so that it gets as close as possible. Again, this will be on the inside of the bag. But you can see it leaves just a little bit of an edge, and you can just take a Q-tip, clean that up with some water if you're using the water soluble. It's hard to get down in here. We want to flip up. Well, there isn't, got to get right up there. You don't want to cut your material. Just going to kind of slide my scissors so that they don't. Hopefully my hands aren't in the way too much. But you can see no matter what you do, you're going to have a little bit. So if you're using cutaway, you're going to see a little bit of it. And because it's a vinyl front, you could see it from the right side. On this bag here, you can see it a little bit. You can see it where, down in here, down where I'm at right now. Up here, you can kind of, you know, this little flap here is going to hide everything. But down here, you can see I have a little line here. So with the water soluble, we can just take care of that. Just don't cut your material. It's so easy to do. It would be so easy to do. I want to lift this up. Lift that lip up a little bit. Get up underneath there and cut it. Okay. So you could see, you can't see here because you have a little lip. It's underneath there. But here you don't have a lip. It's sewn down because we flipped it over. So you can see there's just a little bit. Can you see that? There's just a little bit there. And we can just take a Q-tip and get rid of it. Okay? Now we're going to open our zipper. I would imagine it's time to turn it out. All right? Let's read. See, it says you can remove the remains if you used water soluble. Unzip the zipper all the way and turn your case out again. Push out all your corners and press. Don't press your vinyl. So I'm going to do these first. These little upper corners here. As much as I can with my fingers. Okay. Oh, I like this color zipper on here. That is really cute. Okay, if the vinyl is being persnickety, you can use a blow dryer, one of those embossing guns, something like that that heats up, or even just put your iron down here like this and put your vinyl on there. Kind of heat it up just a little bit, enough to make it pliable. Doesn't take much. Get as much as I can with my fingers. And then use my little tool. Okay, my iron is on. Let's close this up. The best way, now somebody on YouTube I watched, but to get these to lie even and flat, they push them forward, push down on it, and then roll them back. And for some reason, that lines it up beautifully. I don't know why it works. I'm sure there's some sort of physics and science behind it. But it works. Okay. So there's that. It's pretty good, pretty good. Very hot. Okay, again, push it up so that the seam is way up here. Kind of push down and roll the seam a little bit. And then roll it back towards you. And it just makes all that stuff line up great in there. And just don't touch my vinyl. Okay. I'm going to iron the back now. I don't want to touch my vinyl. And you can see some vinyl might poke out here. So be careful. Okay. Ooh, boy, that iron gets hot. Put on medium. Open that and roll this. Roll this seam. Make sure no vinyl is going to be touching my iron. And give it a nice little press, a little quick press. Be quick, be quick. You don't want to get the vinyl too hot. And there's our little bag. And then we take our I'll finish cutting up my letters. And then they'll go in my bag. Look at the brown with the brown. I love that. Here's the orange. Cute. How fast was that? I mean, that was a pretty fast class. I think they're great. I think they are excellent. Again, finish cutting these up. Make sure you use a ruler and a rotary cutter. Probably don't need this big of a ruler anymore. But again, I am lining up, let's see, I'll do it over here. Lining up the 1/8 of an inch. And making sure that does not move. And that gives us a good cut. Well, that wasn't so great, but gotta make sure it doesn't move on you. That's better, I think. As long as you don't cut into that stitch, you'll be golden. There's those. I just think these are so great. I use them all the time. Like I said, I need about 5 sets because that's about how many projects I have going on. And I've been making these project bags. This is a smaller one that I made, but this is a free pattern. If you just Google project bags, I think, was this was one of the big companies like Fat Quarter Shop or something, but somebody has a free pattern. You just print it out. Follow the directions. I did a little quilting. But yeah, this is a free pattern online. And I've been making these like crazy.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, I need them. I
I don't think I can ever have enough project bags because I never run out of projects because I don't finish the first one before I cut out the second one.
I know. I know, we're so rotten. Okay. And these little, I might go through, it doesn't really matter if you cut those off or not. One thing I will say, when you are cutting these, hold your blade straight. Sometimes I like to go in like sideways like this when I cut, and that's bad. That's a bad habit. So, I got this thing on the table. So just try and hold your blade straight. You'll get better cuts. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to make these? They're so useful. They are so useful and handy. You're going to be amazed at how many times you're going to grab for them. You're very welcome, Linda. I hope that you show them if you make them on Facebook. I would love to see them. It's always fun to see when you guys make cute little projects. The Facebook group is, what is it, A1? I'm not very straight here. Almost done. Just gotta do ABC. And there we go. Put them all in my cute little bag, and I'm ready to go. You could put maybe a little hanger thing on here. That might be a good idea. And you would just make a little I would make it, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch. I would make it about between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. Just line it up with the zipper here, you know, when you're doing the final go around, just the folded side on the inside. It would come out right here. That would be nice. You know, I have a lot of hooks and stuff in my room. I like things hanging up because then I'm not digging anywhere. What do you think? This one has the double letters. Showed you how to make those. All right, you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And oh, I'm so bad about, oh, here. All right, you guys, take care, and we'll see you next time. I've been using paper. You've been using paper. You're making these tomorrow, Michelle, yay. I've been using paper too. You're talking about to label stuff? That is so annoying. I mean, you have to like tear little pieces and then you write. I mean, you guys saw my, if you're doing the Lori Holt quilt, the houses, the little pictures I make of the cuts are all like written on little pieces of paper. Oh, you get this at Embroidery Garden, or can they go to A1?
No, Embroidery Garden.
Embroidery Garden. Go to embroiderygarden.com and just look up fabric markers. It's fabric markers, not like itty bitties or what the other ones are called. Fabric markers. And you'll find it there, embroiderygarden.com. Google Embroidery Garden. If you haven't been to Embroidery Garden, yeah, you might find some other stuff you want too. There's a lot of cute stuff there. So beware. It's a fun site. You're very welcome. Any more questions, concerns? You use the Scan and Cut to cut out your fabric. Wow. Oh, your fabric paper labels. Well, that's true. It does paper too, huh? We forget about that. We forget that the Scan and Cut does that. Yes, we do have an affiliate. I'm sure we have an affiliate. Affiliate. You know what I mean. One of those links. If you go to the A1 site. Affiliate link, right?
What?
Yeah. I'm sure they have one for Embroidery Garden.
Access to it.
And they would be very appreciative if you used that.
We have no access to that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, if you use the Scan and Cut for paper, I mean, I guess you could laminate that, cut them apart. You know, there's lots of ways to make labels. But these are too cute. Oh, I see what's happening. Look at how the camera just switched over automatically. Shame on that. Why is it doing that? This is why I'm not on the right camera. I'm going to blame that. Because I did not switch that camera. It switched on me. Shame, shame, shame. Okay, now I know. Now I know what's happening. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time. I don't think I have anything scheduled in the near future, so I'm sure we'll talk about it today. We've got some fun things coming up, but I don't think they're scheduled. Okay, thanks again, you guys, for being with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Mwah. You guys have a wonderful